questions from our workshop series, the 3 biggest dementia caregiver mistakes. I'm so excited to do this. Just so you know as well, our membership community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, is open for new members. So if you are interested in joining a group of caregivers who are learning practical tips, who are really there for each other, go to dementiasuccesspath.com, same as this YouTube channel, all that good stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to answer some questions. Okay. My mother-in-law, 97, says that she can see through walls and that people are doing weird stuff. There are no people in the next room. Also, she says people stand in line to watch her use the restroom. I try to reassure her that the walls are solid. So yeah, we didn't get to cover hallucinations in our workshop. So I'll cover them here. So hallucinations, like, that you can address them and some of the ways that I taught in the main workshop, which is we want to understand what their belief is, we want to address their concern, and then we want to redirect them. However, hallucinations, there's like a slight caveat to it because our folks with dementia, they because there's like a sensory aspect to hallucinations, like they can actually see that the thing that isn't real that is there, or hear it or taste it or whatever. If you go too hard into like, yeah, I see it too, that can pull them in a little bit further. So I'd say the sweet spot in between is simply to say, hey, oh, you see this thing, and address what is real about the hallucination, which is them like maybe feel like what they feel about it. So for example, if they feel neutral about it, like they feel relatively calm, they're not asking you to get involved at all, you can just let it go, just like ignore it, just go about your day. But if they are like scared or they're trying to actively involve you, then my recommendation would be to get them to another room, get them over doing something else. Just help them get calm, help like address that main issue of like helping them feel safe. So what it could look like if she's saying there's people through the walls, it's like, okay, here, let's get to this other room and we'll take care of it. Okay. We'll make sure that these people don't bug you. Something along those lines, can be a good way to handle it and then redirect their attention somewhere else. So, that would be my recommendation for hallucinations altogether and handling them. And if you guys have any questions live here on chat, or, in the replay, you can ask in the comments as well. I'll be checking. Feel free to pop it in there. I'm happy to help. All right. So let's see. Next question from the workshop is, my person isn't that bad. Do I really need a caregiving community? I would venture to say yes, absolutely. You do. And the reason being is most people, what they do is they wait till they're in a crisis to seek out help. And by then it's really overwhelming and just a lot harder to get the help that they need that way. So by seeking out information, like, could you do it online for free? 1,000%. But all of us are really busy. We are working, we maybe have kids ourselves, like we're doing all kinds of stuff. It's just a lot easier to have it be done for you, all curated and collected for you. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So it's a lot easier to be able to just have all that done for you and be able to connect with people who truly get it, who can give you these like insider, like boots on the ground type tips. Like, for example, I had this one lady say, hey, my husband, pees in a corner in our dining room. How do I get him to stop? And I said, hey, have you considered adaptive clothing? She said, oh, what's that? It's like, you literally just zip it up. Like, it's like a one-piece outfit that you zip up in the back so they can't like whip off their pants themselves. Problem solved. So that it really, that's the benefit of joining a community. So if you are interested in that, our community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, is open for the next couple days for new members, and we're closing in the next couple days. And the reason why we do that is it's a lot easier to get to know people when you all come in at the same time. It's just a lot easier. So we may not be taking any more people for the rest of the year. So be sure, if you're even at all kind of interested, go to dementiasuccesspath.com and sign up. It's the same name as this YouTube channel, just .com at the end to sign up for our community. Let's see. Red Tree says, thank you for your content. Someone in my family has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and you've been a huge help. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, Red Tree. Are you answering questions via live? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Feel free to answer questions or ask away. I'm happy to answer them. All right. So yeah, dementiasuccesspath.com to join our group though. Let's see. And I'm answering questions also from from the workshop. If you missed the workshop, we're actually having an encore tomorrow on Zoom at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can also sign up for the workshop on our website as well. Let's see. My grandpa has a catheter, but still feels the need to sit and pee in the toilet. I understand why he's doing it. But then the catheter gets tugged and he gets a UTI. How can we get him to stop? Any ideas, please? Kind of like what I was just saying. Adaptive clothing can be a really easy solution for that. Oh, thank you. I've been watching you for a year, just in case something happens with my family. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, it can be really hard and overwhelming for your family to get that type of diagnosis. And we've actually had like distance caregivers or people who are not the main caregiver joining our group. And the reason being is you can be an incredible resource to the folks that definitely are in the trenches doing it. So our group doesn't necessarily have to just be for people in the trenches. Like it can, like a lot of them, like for example, somebody I just talked to that just joined, she said the reason why she joined is she wants to be able to be the one to take in all the information and then be able to share it with her sister in the trenches. So definitely I wouldn't count yourself out. Definitely still join for sure. Let's see. Blessing to you and your loved one. You're doing great work. You don't have to respond to this comment. I just want you to know that you help many, many people. So much love for Michigan. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Red Tree. That means so much. I really appreciate you too. Okay, let's see. I'll get some questions from the workshop. If you guys don't have any questions, ask me live. No problemo. What is the best strategy to use if they cannot communicate their needs or concerns before it's possible to redirect? Connections are not being made. Yeah. So I think a reason why they asked this in the workshop, one of like the main things I tell folks is to get curious about like why they're refusing, why they're doing what they're doing. But sometimes they're too emotionally overwhelmed or they're too overstimulated to answer your questions, or they maybe are too far into the dementia process to answer questions. So what's there is we want to help get them calm and regulate their nervous system before we ask them a bunch of questions. So sometimes I'll change, like I'll have them go to another room, or I'll have them go outside, or I'll give them a drink of water, or I'll help them ground themselves in like where we're standing, or saying, here, do you see the leaves on the tree, or something along those lines, just to get them out of their head and like more into their body. That really helps a lot of them. And once they're calm and more centered, then it's a lot easier to get curious about, you know, why don't they want to drink water, why they don't want to shower, what have you. It's a lot easier for them to think about that, for their brain to work on like all cylinders. So that would be my recommendation there. Let's see. I can't afford $27 a month. Do you offer sponsorships or assistance at all? Yeah. So our membership community, it is paid. And the reason why we do that is because even a small membership due, our lowest one is $7, is something that really helps weed out people who are going to be kind of flaky and don't really care, from the people who are going to really be there for you and going to really care about you. That's one thing. Another thing too is it enables me to create both really good quality, no cost content and really high quality paid content. It really, really helps. And the reason being is that, you know, it's a lot of work to create this type of stuff. Like, I'll be super, super honest with you guys. Everything I'm teaching, you could probably find online yourself. Like, you definitely could. I'm not telling you anything that's special. I think what sets me apart from other people is I try to package it in such a way and organize it for you in such a way that it's easy for you to implement, that it's easy for you to go from consuming to actually applying. And it's a lot easier to digest my particular teaching style. So if my teaching style in particular really resonates with you, then I think what's there is deciding, okay, I'm super busy in my life. I have other responsibilities. I have a job. I got other stuff going on. I just need something to be done for me. And different people need different level supports at different times. So maybe right now you just need a little quick reminder in your pocket in the form of our Dementia Help Now app that is just for members, which essentially gives you like a really fast coaching via video and allows you to jump right back in the situation. Or some people love our workshops, and we do a workshop every single month in our membership community. And it allows you to get that hands-on practice, be able to ask me stuff live, because I don't do these live super often. So just out in the regular world. And also too, if you need like one-on-one coaching, you need someone to like look up resources for you. Or you really want like a more dedicated group of people in your corner. We actually just started something called special interest groups this time around. So if you want to just interact with people who are caregiving for spouses, or just interact with people who are caregiving for parents, or if you're a professional and you want to interact with other professionals, it's going to be a huge help for you. It's going to be really, really helpful. Anyways, so dementiasuccesspath.com to join us. We're closing our doors for new members in just a couple days. So if you are even at all kind of interested in, like, please join us. Let's see. My 86-year-old mom is losing the ability to sense the need to pee and therefore has lots of accidents. How do I have a conversation with her about wearing pads or depends? So that's totally up to you. If she is, it depends on her level of awareness. If she understands that that's something she's doing, then yeah, you can have a conversation saying, why don't we just try this, see how you feel, just so that you feel drier, so that, you know, you're not like having to change clothes as often, what have you. If she's less aware, if she has like no clue that this is happening, like she doesn't bug her whatsoever, I would just, honestly, this sounds controversial, but literally just take out her regular underwear out of her drawer and replace it with Depends. And just act as if that's just regular panties. Just call them panties. Just rebrand it as panties. Most of the time, they don't notice. If you're acting as if like it's totally fine, it's always been there, it's totally normal. And they sell Depends or disposable underwear that look relatively similar to underwear. You could also buy like really absorbent, like period style underwear as well, if it's like not like full bladder type stuff. Additionally too, I did a sponsorship, I want to say a couple months ago in December, I believe, with a brand called Drymint, where it's like absorbent pants even. So like having like Depends and these pants would really help with accidents as well. So there's all different kinds of solutions. And that's what I love about our caregiver community is it's really hard to find these really, really niche solutions just on the open internet. Like you certainly can, but it takes a lot of digging and a lot of know-how. And when you're brand new to this, you've been like dropped into this, you don't know that. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what's out there that could potentially help you. That really just comes with boots on the ground experience. And even not just my experience, like you're also getting the experience of a bunch of different people. Like I think right now our membership community has about 700 people right now. So that's a lot of people that you could get insider knowledge from. So anyways, dementiasuccesspath.com if you would like to join our membership community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier. Alrighty. Go on to our next workshop question. Let's see. How about forgetting she already took her meds and she is certain she hasn't taken her meds, but the evidence shows she has. You've said not to correct her, but I don't want to let her over-medicate. I've thought about giving her Pez or something like that, but that doesn't seem like a great option. Yeah, so ultimately what's there with medication, it's very tricky. My thought is maybe giving her like a sugar pill or something like that. If she's already taken her meds, maybe giving her something that's not going to hurt her. to take another one of, so that you don't necessarily have to correct her, say that she's already taken it. Or maybe talk with the doctor and see about maybe adjusting like times of dosage or whatever. I wouldn't do that on your own, but definitely talk with the doctor for sure. Let's see. I am a distance caregiver and not the primary caregiver. Would this program be able to help, or would I need to be there? Yeah, absolutely. Like our group is really great for all different types of caregivers. I mentioned before, we're starting up like a special interest group. So if you're a professional caregiver too, we're going to have a professional caregiver group. Let's see. Lately, which question isn't asked enough compared to its interest? I'm not sure if I'm fully understanding your question there. Oh, okay. I think I understand what you're saying. What question do I think is not being asked enough? I would say a question I don't think is being asked enough is like, I think like most people are really, really focused on like, how can I pay for care? I'd say that's like a big question that people are really fixated on. But I think a question they're not asking enough is like, how can I, like, what should I say to lessen the time that I'm arguing or trying to negotiate with my person with dementia? I think that's something that should be asked a lot more. And that's definitely what our community helps address is, I mean, definitely I do answer questions about long-term care as well. I've worked in senior living, I've worked in home health, so I can certainly help with that type of stuff and help with like the nitty-gritty of like, how do you go about hiring somebody from home health, or how do you go about like, what are the insider tips of finding senior living stuff, which, spoilers, there are definitely like certain times of the month that are better to shop, certain times of the month that are better to make a decision on senior living, whether that be assisted living or memory care, that will get you the best deals, that will be less pressure overall from like the salespeople. So again, you really learn this stuff by doing it. And that's what's really great about really getting connected with a community of people and getting stuff that is done for you. And I'm talking like scripts, like exact things to say and do. So yeah, I would say people should be getting more interested in how can I support my person with dementia to be as independent as they can for as long as possible. Like, I think another thing that a lot of people assume is that once, like, for example, they're not able to do the dishes from start to finish, they can no longer do the dishes at all. That's not true. So I think what a lot of people don't understand is that our folks with dementia may have trouble with starting a task or staying focused on the task or remembering all the steps in between. We can certainly support them in maybe giving them a part of a task. And that really helps with things like sundowning or them asking to go home. Oftentimes they're doing those two things because they don't feel a sense of purpose. They don't feel needed anymore. And that can be really hard for them. So my recommendation with that type of stuff is to, let's say with dishes, for example, maybe ask them to take the dishes out of the dishwasher and put them on the counter. That might be easier than trying to remember all the places that all the dishes go. That way they're still involved and they're still doing things and they still feel like they're helping. I think something that a lot of people don't understand about dementia is that just because they can no longer do things the same way they've always done them doesn't mean that it isn't crucially important for them to still be really involved in being able to help themselves, their household, their community. Having a purpose outside of themselves is still super important. And I think a lot of people do something I call being trapped on a cruise ship. So what that means is like you have everybody doing everything for you, and it can feel like you're just trapped. Like it doesn't feel like you're home. Like I think that's a big reason why people will constantly ask to go home all the time, is because Being at home is more than just like physically being somewhere. Like if you really take time to notice what you're doing when you're at home, chances are you're probably cooking, tidying, just doing a bunch of tasks to keep your household running. And that's what makes you feel like you're at home. Obviously, along with the people that live with you in the relationships you have with your family or the people that live with you at home. Like those are the things that really make it feel like home. And the good news about that is you can recreate quite a bit of it in something like memory care or assisted living. If you talk with the activities folks, if you encourage them to, if you ask the activity folks to invite your person with dementia to like help them set up an activity or help them set up for dinner or something along those lines, like help them feel more a part of the community. It'll make them feel more like they live there. And that's crucially important for their mental health, like crucially important. Let's see. Hello, Forever Learning the Original. Good to see you. All right. Yeah. And in our group, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, I've done a workshop on how specifically you can set up routines and activities that are going to bring more meaning and purpose and reduce challenging behaviors. So that's a big thing that isn't talked about enough. For sure. Yeah, everything is all interconnected when it comes to like, they're not doing weird things for no reason. And yeah, like dementia is the reason for it, but we can get really creative with our solutions. And again, a lot of it is just experience and know-how. And again, in our group, you're not even just getting it from me per se. Let's see. Okay. All right. Anyways, okay. What happens when you involve them in cooking? They constantly ask about the stove for hours. Like what kind of questions are they asking about the stove? Like I would be curious about that. Like, are they asking like if it's on or if there's still stuff on it? Yeah, like oftentimes, like I have people asking about like repeated things, like repeated questions. So I'd say what's there, why they repeat themselves a whole bunch of times is like they have this like anxious feeling that pops up that continuously makes them ask, um, did I turn it off? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? This happens to regular people too, where it's like, I almost call it like the curling iron concern, like the curling iron anxiety when like you leave your house and you're like, did I unplug that curling iron? Did I do that? Like it's very much the same thing. So I would say what's there is maybe having, like if they have a phone or something, it sounds like they're a little bit earlier on in the process. Maybe having a thing where it's saying like, let's have a checklist of cooking and maybe check off like the stove. So maybe if like she or he is asking, did I turn off the stove? It's like, okay, let's check the checklist. See if we checked it off. Yep. Okay, great. Stove is off. That could be a pretty easy way if they're earlier on. It's a little bit more challenging when they're later on in the process, but I would say that would be my recommendation. And either that, if they are later on and the checklist doesn't work, I mean, you know, if you're still in the house, like you could ask them like, hey, go check. Like you're welcome to go check to see if it got turned off. You know, something along those lines. Like I know it's not easy for sure. All right. Let's see. I'll move on to our next question from the workshop. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching live. I appreciate you. My dad doesn't want to be alone. It's like he wants us to sit with him and keep him company, making supper, washing clothes, and he doesn't see that he is unsteady on his feet. We have bed alarms, motion sensors, but he always wants to get up and walk. Yeah. Definitely that can be really challenging if they have like mobility issues and they don't believe that they need any equipment. So first thing I would do is try to just rebrand like the walkers or wheelchairs or what have you. Maybe calling it something else like the King's Throne or like something like that. Another thing you could do too is maybe ask them like how they would use like the walker, for example, like have them teach you. That works especially well with men. Men love to teach you things. So that's a good thing too. Another thing as well is sometimes I'm not going to have like a huge conversation with them. Sometimes I'll just grab the walker. Like maybe like they'll get up, I might have them like grab my arm, and then I might just have the walker walk alongside us. And then if I see them struggling, I might just put it in front of them really quickly. Just to be sure, so that we're not necessarily having to get into a huge conversation. Let's see. Do you have any tips for managing home clutter? Finding things for my person is very anxiety provoking, which we are trying to help her manage. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I would say what's there is if you are, like wanting to help organize and maybe they are concerned about that, I would recommend maybe organizing when they're not home, doing it that way, getting rid of some stuff, obviously keeping the things that they use all the time there. So that'd be my recommendation for like clearing it out. Is you're probably going to run into some issues if they're like watching you do it, probably. What can I do if they constantly pack bundles of clothes trying to go home? Should I hide most of their clothes? Yeah, you're actually on the right track for sure. So this could be a pretty habitual thing for some people. So my thought is if you're constantly just tired of having to reorganize like an entire closet worth of stuff when they pack up to go home, my recommendation would be to maybe hide the majority of the clothes, maybe have like an amount of clothing in their closet that you feel that you feel okay with like putting back every time, or just like let them have in bags, just like in their room. Who cares? Especially if you have a stash of more stuff somewhere else in the house. That can help manage that, because ultimately you're not going to correct them into not doing that anymore. It's just not going to work, unfortunately. And it's a phase. It will pass. Like it will pass with time. Like I promise you, they will not do it forever. So, yeah, that is what I would recommend for sure, for sure. Thanks for the questions. All right. Let's see. I'm super busy between caregiving kids, my career. Would I have time for dementia caregiving made easier? Yeah, absolutely. So we created Dementia Caregiving Made Easier for busy people. And the reason being is, like I've said before on this live and just in general, I'm not teaching you guys anything that special, truly. Like everything I say, you could probably find yourself online somewhere. I think where it really is helpful to find somebody who's curated, whose skill set is breaking things down so that they're easily digestible and practically ready to use, is it saves you a bunch of time, saves you a bunch of effort. So you have to really decide, what is my sanity? What is my time worth to me? And I would also argue that you are probably right now being very inefficient with your time when it comes to caregiving with what you're currently doing right now. Chances are there are things that you could be doing that would save you a ton of time, that would help you feel less busy, give you more me time, by investing, like, it could be as little as like 5 minutes in your day, even less than that, 30 seconds in our Help Now app, to absorb a different way of doing something. Like, it truly doesn't have to be super time consuming. Like, I've had people, like, some people are podcast people. They like to listen to like replays of our workshop while they're like doing dishes or something, or running around in the car. Some people like to watch our 2-minute videos, like maybe on their lunch break or something. Some people like to just be able to do a quick up down of our cheat sheet, just to have an idea of what to say in a situation and then go forth in the situation. Like, nothing has to take up a super big amount of time. It's very much about like, what are these things worth to you? And I think as far as like the issue of like finances as well, our goal is to make it as accessible as possible. So I'd say probably for one thing, our program helps us be able to fund free stuff that we do for the community, as well as it allows us to create higher quality, more curated stuff for people who are needing a higher level of support, that are super busy, that just don't have the time to try to find this stuff out by like trial and error, and just need to just have it done for them. So my thought, if you are into that, is going to dementiasuccesspath.com and signing up. We close our membership in just a couple days. We may not reopen again this year. The reason why we do that is because it's a lot easier to get to know people when you all come in at the same time. So dementiasuccesspath.com to join our group. You can move up and down levels of support too, as much as you need to. Let's see. What can I do if you drive up to the house and they refuse to get out because they don't live there? Yeah, that is challenging for sure. So I'd probably get curious first and maybe ask, like, who do they think lives there? Like, what do they think is going on? First off, and then maybe from there, just thinking about like stuff they're interested in to maybe try to lure them in. Like, I know this sounds terrible, but for example, my own grandmother who had dementia, she loved cats, loved them. So if she said, I don't live there, so I don't want to come in. It's like, oh, well, you know what? I heard there might be like a little kitten under the bed here that I need some help getting out. Could you come in with me? Here, let's go look. That would get her out real quick. So, and if like she comes in and obviously there's no kitten, it's like, oh no, the kitten must be hiding somewhere else. I don't know. Like maybe we can look, or here, actually, you know what? For now, let's just go get a glass of water. So that's what I would do to try to get them in. I know it's definitely not easy. And I'd say from there too, maybe getting curious as to like why it doesn't feel like home to them. Would be another big thing. It could be that, they're looking for people from their childhood. They could be looking for surroundings that look like from when they were younger. So that's what I would do. How do you deal with Granny starting to pack things up while I'm busy doing my job? Yeah. Great question. I actually did address that like not too long before, but I'll recap it real quick. You can adjust the environment so that it's easier for you to manage. So I would recommend putting most of her stuff in like a separate place and maybe just have the amount of items that you feel okay cleaning back up again, left in the closet for her to pack up. Even leave them in the bag. Who cares? Let's see. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. That's what's really great about being with a community of people who get it, is that it feels more manageable when you feel like you're not just flying blind and doing it by yourself. It gets so much easier to do all kinds of different things. So again, dementiasuccesspath.com to join our group, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier. Find your people. Find your folks. Let's see. Resistance towards OT, PT, and home healthcare folks coming into the home. Yeah. Oh man, this is a big one. Yeah. So the reason why a lot of folks will resist this is really for two reasons. First reason is they don't believe they have dementia at all, or that anything is wrong with them whatsoever. So it makes absolutely zero sense to them why they would need OT, PT, or home health care folks coming into their home. So you have to circle it back to what they believe. So if what they believed is true, why would OT, PT, or home health be coming into the house? That's a good place to start for that reason. Another reason is that they are aware that they have dementia or they have other issues going on, like medical issues that they would need OT, PT to come in for. For them, it represents like, I'm getting old, or the dementia is getting worse. Like it represents something that they don't necessarily want to face, or that feels painful to them. So the way that I deal with it is, especially if they're more aware of it, I will just straight up name it for them. I'll say, hey, or I'll just ask them like, hey, so does, having OT or PT come in just like make you feel bad about something? Or does like, what does having PT or OT mean to you? Like coming into the house? And then you can talk frankly about it, of saying like, okay, it makes you feel like fragile. You don't feel like you need the help. You feel like you can handle it yourself. I got it. But here's the thing about OT, PT. Insurance is already paying for it anyways. And my thought is, let's just try it. Let's see if it makes your life better. Let's see if it helps. And if it doesn't, we can always try something else. Like that, like the temporariness of it really helps a lot of people feel more in control. You could also emphasize, using OT, PT, or home health doesn't necessarily mean you're getting worse. It just means, right now, a level of support is going to help. So that would be my recommendation. My loved one doesn't want to come downstairs in the morning to eat breakfast. Okay. So I guess my question to you, Jeanette, would be, why is it important to you to have them come down for breakfast? And I'm not saying that judgmental at all. My thought is just like, it could be like, you could know, obviously you know them better than I do. So they could maybe feel better about themselves when they are just out and about, when they get going. So maybe my thought is like, if there's a lot of friction, like if they need to get dressed first or what have you to get down, they don't want to do that. Maybe dress them in something that they can both sleep in and wear out and about and it not be a huge deal. He just wants to stay upstairs all day. Does it hurt for him to go down the stairs? That might be something to consider. That could be a reason why. Or it could be that, apathy is super, super common with dementia, for sure. And a lot of it is like maybe frustration that they can't, okay. I just said no. No to what? Let's see. I guess I should be grateful she likes to bathe, but she bathes constantly like 4 to 5 times a day. How to reduce this? Yeah. So I would say what's there as far as reducing the bathing is, I know this sounds super weird. Stay with me. Sometimes the bathroom door is like a trigger for them. So I know this sounds crazy, but even just putting they sell like poster, like a stick on like wall decal of like a bookshelf or even putting like a curtain over it can make it so that like it's not like they're not triggered to find the bathroom as much. So that's one way you could do it. I would say another way is just having a solid routine of maybe doing other stuff that gets you like maybe outside or just not in the house as much. Like that could be something that could be helpful. I don't know. I get curious too. Like why does she feel the need to bathe all the time? Maybe there's a different solution. Like there's shower wipes and like bathing sponges too. That can be a little bit less intense of a process. So that could be a good tool. Let's see. Hi, my friend's aunt was always the sweetest person, but then she has vascular dementia. She's very angry, throwing things, even a chair once. Saying her husband hates her. What can be done? Yeah, this can happen. So I think a big question I'll get a lot is, can we predict how someone's going to be in dementia based off of how they were before? And the answer is no. I've seen people respond all different types of ways to dementia. They have gone from being super sweet to really mean. That's what my grandma did. I've seen them go from being really mean to really nice. I've seen them go from being really mean to super mean. I've seen people go from being nice to being pleasantly confused. So like there really is no predicting that. But I'd say what's there as far as the anger, throwing things, it sounds like she just has a very low tolerance for like any type of resistance to stuff. So the more you can ask simple questions while she's still relatively calm, or just lower stimulation to support her and make adjustments so that she can succeed at more stuff, I think the less frustration she's going to experience. And if this is like a huge, huge, huge compulsive problem, you can talk to their doctor about some medication to help like blunt that a little bit. I use that last part as like a last resort though. Let's see. Is it better to make the person aware of what our care plans are for them or their diagnosis in a moderate stage, or is it best to make care plans and discuss the diagnosis without them around? Kind of depends on them. If they are aware of it and they feel more comfortable with being around it, then yeah, definitely. If they feel uncomfortable around it, then yeah. So it really just depends on them. Is it okay to not fight my 90-year-old mom to take a shower and use wipes in between? Absolutely. So I think what's there is a lot of people are under the misconception that elderly people need to shower or bathe every singular day, and they really don't. Especially if they're not super physically active, like they're just hanging out and sitting. Like it's actually not great for their skin to shower every single day. So yeah, absolutely. You can use shower wipes and that type of stuff in between just to get like their, kibbles and bits and under their armpits and things like that. Cleared up. But yeah, It can be, it's a big sensory experience to get somebody with dementia to shower. That's why it's such a common refusal. Like that's why it's such a common thing that that goes on. So yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Good question. Good question. All right, let's see. All right, I am answering both live questions and workshop questions for those who are new to the live, just so you know. Okay. My husband has OCD. He is a door checker, sometimes 7 to 8 times a night before bed. Do I just let him check doors? I mean, you can. Like, you can, if it's not, like, hurting anything. Let's see. Just wanted to say thanks for all your videos and resources. We found them very helpful in planning our care. I'm so glad, Ashley. I'm so glad. Yeah, thanks for watching. And Ashley, I'd also recommend you check out, we are opening up for new members for our caregiver community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier. You can go to dementiasuccesspath.com and check it out. We would love to have you and to join us. So again, dementiasuccesspath.com. All right. Let's see. My wife and I are always talking about children and people's responsible for caring or working with. It's always me trying to discourage her about people. I'm not sure if I necessarily understand this question. So I would say if somebody is like fixated on something super weird, I just get curious as to why. Let's see. We are right now in France with my dad. Oh, wow. Welcome from France. Thanks for watching the live. I appreciate you. And thanks for watching the videos here. Yeah. Good to see you. All right. Let's see. My mom gets up daily approximately at the same time and gets completely dressed without washing up. She would put on the same clothes and not change her pull-up. I try to get her before dressing. I will tell her to take a shower today. She will, but she's hesitant. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that my videos have been helpful to you. Yeah, so I'd say what's there is I'd almost go on like, help them go on like autopilot. So what that means when it comes to like showering or dressing or things like that is if you are saying like, oh, hey, could I get you like help you in the shower? Like if you're asking like, do you want to, can you? That can trip some people up. Sometimes I just act as if they already said yes, because like if they really truly don't want to, like they'll say like, no, I'm not doing it. But oftentimes if you just lead them to the next step and the next step and the next step, it just allows their brain to relax and they're much more likely to agree with you by doing that. I think I've made a video on that topic before. So that would be my recommendation. Okay. Let's see. I'm new here. I watch your videos every day. They're very helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thanks for watching. Yeah, absolutely. And if you find my videos helpful, you're definitely going to find our caregiver community helpful. Again, it's dementiasuccesspath.com to sign up for our caregiver community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier. We have done for you type solutions like scripts on exactly what to say, monthly workshops so I can help you live, answer questions live, something called our Help Now app. That how it works is it's like a 30-second like video, like an ability for you to quickly be like, okay, I'll say this and immediately jump back in the situation. One-on-one coaching where I do resources for you. It's a really, really great value. Our goal is to make it accessible to everybody. So again, dementiasuccesspath.com. We are closing our doors for new members in just a couple days. So be sure to join. We probably won't open up for the rest of the year. So, and the reason why we do that is it's a lot easier for everybody to get to know each other when they all come in at the same time. All right. Let's see. My loved one stays upstairs and is coming down later and later, sometimes 5 p.m. Yeah, that's really, really hard. So I would try to figure out like what the friction is. Like, does he just not like getting out of bed? Is he in pain? Are the stairs hard? Like those are all really valuable things to look into. My mom thinks there's 2 of me, but she can't tell me how old the other one is. And this always leads to an argument. Am I supposed to let her be? I can understand why that's really, really hard. Yeah, it's possible she's just picturing the younger version of you. And that's why she's getting confused. It's up to you. I would say you're likely not going to convince her of anything she doesn't already believe, unfortunately. Let's see. My father has Lewy body dementia, and it's very difficult because he is sure that my mom leaves every night. So he's angry and dangerous and then very sleepy, and my mom had to leave the house to escape. Oh, wow. That's not good. Yeah. So I would say what's there is you probably need more support if you feel like he is a danger to himself or others, for sure. Oh, I'm so glad, Holly. Thank you for watching. Okay, great. I'm glad that that this channel's been helpful, and I would encourage you, Holly, to join our group, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier. We are accepting new members for the next couple days until we close, probably for the rest of the year. So go to dementiasuccesspath.com and sign up. All right. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. My dad is my mom's primary caregiver, and she's often snippy with him, snarky, kind of mean. I can separate them pretty easily, but I haven't figured out how to get her off his back. Any suggestions? He's handling it beautifully, but it's hard on him. Yeah. So something I like to, so when your person with dementia is mean to you in particular, I usually call you like the target. And usually whoever is the target is the person who is with them the most, unfortunately. I know, that's your reward for doing most of the hard work. And the reason is, they're probably just getting frustrated with the stuff that they're doing. So a lot of it is just if they're getting really, really snippy at you, it is okay to set boundaries for yourself. Like, they're not going to learn a new thing, but you can absolutely say, like, look, I can't help you when you're mean. I'll come back when we're both calm, and just give some space for things to just calm down for a little bit. Or maybe just get curious, saying, like, you seem really upset. Like, how about we slow down? We just take this one step at a time. It could be that you're saying too many words. Could be that you're talking too fast. I know I'm not a great example of the fast talking. It's because I'm on social media. Social media algorithms, unfortunately, just wants you to talk at like the absolute speed of light. Like, I swear, like, it sounds like in my videos, I don't talk as fast in real life as I do in my videos. So in my actual videos, it honestly feels like I just like did a line or something. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, of course. I'm happy to do it. Yeah. And I would say too, the great thing about our community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, is because that community helps support the work I do for putting out free content. So that's something else to consider as well. I think somebody else asked a question about, like, do we have like sponsorships or like scholarships or things like that to join our membership? And we do when people donate. So if you're like, maybe you were a caregiver in the past and you want to donate for somebody's membership to get more like specialized type help, yeah, you're welcome to. Let's see. Do you go over the levels of dementia? I think my mom is a 4 and my sister thinks she is an 8. Yeah, I know. That's very confusing. Very, very confusing. So I'd say what's there is our folks will there. So in our workshop series, I made like my own like visual example of early stage, middle stage, late stage, like the specific things I will look for, like how much they can communicate, what their behaviors look like, how well they can do ADLs, like that type of stuff. That's like my own reference thing, but like in a more official diagnosis capacity, like the main one that most people talk about online is something called the Global Deterioration Scale. So what that is stages 1 through 7. And what can be really confusing about it is stages 1 through 3 basically aren't even visible to people that aren't the person with dementia. Like, stage 1 is them like not even having dementia yet. Like, it's like all like the buildup to it. So most dementias, like Alzheimer's, for example, are caused by a combination of genetics and lifestyle. And when I say lifestyle, that's not like a moral judgment on people. Like, it's like the same things that cause any chronic illness, like heart disease, for example. It's poor diet, it's high stress, it's lack of exercise. It's all, it's pollution. It's all the, greatest hits of that type of stuff. So that's stage 1. Really, you start seeing stuff in stage 3, but for sure, like stage 4 is like, I consider early stages. Then stage 5, 6, I consider like moderate. And then stage 7 is late stage. So, yeah, for sure. That, that can be really, really helpful to at least have, like, a lot of caregivers really cling on to the whole stages thing because they want to feel a sense of control and like just have a sense of what's going on. But the truth is people just don't fit that neatly into boxes. Like, it's super common for people to just like move up and down the stages. Like that could be pretty common of a thing to happen. So yeah, I typically discuss stages in terms of like early, middle, late, or how much support do they need? Do they need a little bit of support? Do they need someone to live with them, like that level of support, but they could do some stuff themselves? Do they need total care, which is what late stage looks like? So that is what's there. So I would say, Holly, I would need to know more about your mom to help you figure that out. Let's see. Is it normal to get annoyed with a dementia patient? Mom has both Alzheimer's and dementia. That's a good question. So yeah, it's like a misnomer with okay, so real quick to explain the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's is dementia is like a umbrella term. So what that means is kind of like cancer isn't like a specific disease. Dementia is also not a specific disease. The reason why you hear people say dementia, Alzheimer's and flip them back and forth a whole bunch is because if you're going to have dementia, chances are you have Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a specific disease. So that is why. So I would say chances are your mom has like your mom can have dementia but not have Alzheimer's, but your mom can't but like you can't have like, so you can have dementia but not Alzheimer's, but you can't have Alzheimer's without dementia. There you go. So that's the do you think the GEMS model is an accurate way to gauge the decline? I mean, it can be. It's just Teepa Snow's personal way of describing what she's observing in the stages. Again, kind of like the chart I made is like my personal way of really describing what I've seen through like thousands of people that I've worked with. I think the GEMS is kind of the same idea. Is that's just Teepa's way. Like I think she chose the GEMS model to reduce like stigma around dementia, and I think emphasize like everybody is a gem, no matter like what their ability level is, which is nice, but I could see how that can be confusing for sure. The lesson I learned this week is that when mom is irritable, she probably has a UTI. Yes. 100%. UTIs are something that are not nearly talked about enough. So here's the thing with dementia, with most dementias. So the most common dementias out there are Alzheimer's and vascular dementia by far. And this is a pretty similar thing too with like Lewy body dementia or frontotemporal. If you see their behaviors go nuts out of nowhere, like just go downhill overnight, check them for a UTI, check them for infection. There's usually always a co-occurring thing happening. Like when I worked in Geri Psych, it was such a common thing for like someone to go from like being totally fine to like going nuts the next day. Very first thing all of us would say is check for a UTI. Like it is that common. The reason why it's so common is because that's how those UTI symptoms manifest in elderly people in general, but especially people with dementia, is they just go nutty. And I'd say from there too, it's because oftentimes they're incontinent and they're using incontinence products. I actually recently was sponsored by a brand called Urogard that is like a liner that you can put into Depends to be an extra barrier between like the urethra and bacteria. It's not cleared by the FDA yet, so I'd say take that with what you will. But if you want to try it, and if it does work, if your person is prone to UTIs, it's worth a shot. It's worth trying. Let's see. I care for someone with vascular dementia. I didn't really notice the stages. It was more slow, gradual decline, which is easier to cope with. Yeah. So vascular dementia progresses a little bit different than Alzheimer's. I would say Alzheimer's is like a slower like slope versus vascular tends to be more stepwise. And the reason for that is a lot of folks have like mini strokes with vascular dementia. So you'll notice like a big decline and then like a rally and then like a new baseline. So again, like kind of like the stair step type thing. So, yeah, home tests for UTIs are really, really helpful for sure. Let's see. My grandma had Alzheimer's and it scares me. I don't want to lose my memory. However, she did have a traumatic brain injury from a car accident, and I think that accelerated it for sure. So yeah, I wouldn't, I know Alzheimer's is really scary. I think what a big misconception a lot of people have about it is that if their family member had Alzheimer's, that it's like their destiny. It's really not. Genetics for Alzheimer's especially is a lot less of a factor than people think. I would say the exceptions to that are if your if you have like a ton of family members that got dementia, or you have family members that got it like incredibly young, that can be indicative of like a higher genetic factor. With that being said, though, you can do blood testing. And I actually did get sponsored a little bit ago. Again, I have no horse in this race now. Like I already made the video for them, but there's a company called Better Brain that now accepts most major health insurance companies to do blood testing and like health coaching, which is really cool, like super cool. Like that's probably like the most like precise way that you can help prevent Alzheimer's from happening to you is lifestyle interventions. Like that's, and again, I'm not your science gal, so please don't quote me on this, guys. But from my understanding, talking to a lot of boots on the ground professionals, like doctors, like Loma Linda researchers, people like that, is really the big hope for most people is prevention. That's the main thing. Is I think what that's going to look like is probably for the boomer generation, it might be a touch too late for them. They might have gone past the point of no return, but maybe for some Gen X, for sure millennials and like Gen Z and like Gen Alpha, they're going to be developing more like sophisticated, like preventative testing, more sophisticated interventions earlier on. Like the earlier you can catch it, the more you can do to prevent it or to increase your quality of life. So I've a big question I'll get from a lot of people too is like, are there medications that can help? And yes and no. So a big thing that has been very popular, especially for the Alzheimer's, like early stage Alzheimer's folks, is a medication called Leqembi, which is like an infusion drug. And what it does is it helps clear the amyloid plaques out of the brain. So it definitely can increase quality of life. It's not a cure though, because the problem is like the second you stop using Leqembi, all the symptoms come back, and it will eventually progress forward even with Leqembi. So, and it can come with severe side effects like brain bleeds. So it's hard. Please, can you share what blood tests you do to determine predisposition to dementia? Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So, it's really health markers, to be honest with you. It's very much like how, like, do you have vitamin deficiencies? Do you have, like high cholesterol? Do you have, like, what is your overall, like, aerobic, like how much blood pumping do you have through your body? Like, do you do exercises that help pump the blood through your body efficiently? Like basically like what health stuff you would do to like help prevent, like heart disease, for example, are going to be pretty similar stuff you do to help prevent, dementia, to prevent Alzheimer's. The reason, again, why I'm using it interchangeably is because 60 to 80% of all people that have dementia have it because they have Alzheimer's. So that's why you hear it so interchangeably, but you know, there are obviously other types of dementia out there. Dementias like Lewy body dementia or frontotemporal dementia tend to be more genetically linked. So if you have a genetic vulnerability to like Lewy body or frontotemporal, that's more genetically linked than say most Alzheimer's or most vascular dementia. Those tend to be more like lifestyle heavy type dementias, though, you know, again, if you have like an absolute ton of people in your family that had Alzheimer's, or you got diagnosed very young, that indicates, and when I say very young, anything below 65 is considered very young, to get diagnosed with Alzheimer's. That indicates like a very high genetic vulnerability. So you can get your specific genetics tested to see what your genetic vulnerability is. Like I know there's been talk about like the APO4 gene for that. And really all getting that tested is going to do is just tell you how aggressive you need to be with your lifestyle interventions. Like that's really all it's going to tell you. Yeah. My mom tried Aricept and it completely flattened her personality like a zombie state. Yeah. These like these medications like Aricept, they aren't like a miracle cure by any means. Like maybe they can help some people live a better quality of life for like a little bit of time, but it's certainly not a miracle cure. So if it's not working for her, there's no harm in getting her off. I was told one of the best things for Alzheimer's is to keep drinking water. Is that true? Why? I mean, just probably for your general health. I would assume the more hydrated you are, the more you're just like helping flush out things that could not be great for you in your system. So, speaking of which, thanks for reminding me of that. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, for sure so anyways, I don't want you guys to be scared of getting dementia yourself, especially if you are under the age of 65. There are plenty of things that you can do to lower your risk. And if for whatever reason you still end up getting it later, like it's like I've heard plenty of people come to me and say like, Krista, my mother, my whoever, my husband, my wife, whoever lived like a perfect life, like as perfect as Jesus. And like somehow they still got dementia. And I'm just like, I don't know, guys. Sometimes people are just unlucky. Like maybe they just had a very high genetic disposition and for whatever reason, they just got really unlucky. Like why do kids get cancer? Like it's the same reason. Like sometimes you just can't, life's funny that way. Like there are no guarantees. So my thought is just like, no, dementia is not an absolute certainty just because you had someone in your family have it. But, and there are things you can do. However, there are no guarantees with it. But my hope for us is that as technology gets better, the preventative tests and measures will get more accessible and more sophisticated, so that we can catch it early. Like I would say all the things that are going to meaningfully help prevent it, I think are going to get more sophisticated as time goes on. And that's where all the research money is being dumped into right now. Yeah. So I actually, speaking of which, I've had workshops in our membership, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, talk specifically about prevention, about this type of stuff, have like guest doctors and guest people. So I'm not gonna lie, there's no such thing as someone who is like an all-around dementia expert. Like that person doesn't exist. Like I'm not her, she's not me. My scope is very much in like practical boots on the ground solutions to like challenging behaviors, because that's what I've had the most experience with. However, I don't know absolutely everything. So that's why in my group, what I do is I bring in experts to fill in the gaps so you don't have to find them. You don't have to seek them out. It's just done for you. And I give you a little handout to go along with it. Oh, I'm so glad, Vampire Kiss. You've helped me in the last few months. I don't wake up every day thinking, here we go again. Oh, I'm so glad. Vampire Kiss, please join our group. I am open for new members for Dementia Caregiving Made Easier for the next couple days before we close our doors for new members. So go to dementiasuccesspath.com, same name as this YouTube channel, just .com at the end, to sign up for our group before we close our doors. We'd love to have you. We'd absolutely love to have you. So, oh, geez, it is already an hour. Man, time flies when we're having fun. All right. Well, do you guys have any more questions you would like to ask before I hop off? Again, if you are feeling alone, if you are feeling like you are just so short on time and so overwhelmed, I really encourage you to join our group, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier. Go to dementiasuccesspath.com to join before we close our doors for new members. So everybody, thank you so much for coming to the live and sticking around. I appreciate you. Yay! Yeah, again, dementiasuccesspath.com. All right. Bye, guys.